Danimator takes pole. Gamers alongside him on the front row with Nomskar in third. Championship leader Nuno down in fourth place. He'll start on the second row. Antti and Nandi take fifth and sixth. Nandi with a very, very good practice schedule this week that's made him look very promising for the race. Pamusha takes seventh with Julo up high in eighth. Both VEOs make the top 10. Grandy in ninth and Razim in 10th. Going down the rest of the pack, in 11th place is Rams, the other FGR driver. 12th place is Sobel. That's much lower than he'd want to be starting, especially after some strong results recently. Andrews takes 13th with the LYRs of X-Extend and Urist in 14th and 15th. Jake's in 16th for Flow Force, Buddha and Hetmanek will start from the back.
VEO starting both cars inside the top 10 for the first time in SL history.
Amazing for the team here. Lights out. We're underway here in Portugal. Danimator leads them away from pole position. We've got Nandi in the background, shoves up Pamushas on the outside there. Danimator looks to get away from the pack. Big scrap here. We've got Nomskar, Gamer, Nuno, Nandi and Julo all in for a piece of the action. Julo's on the outside. Little bit of contact as Antti tags him through turn 5. Nomskar out in second place. Gamer's look to put some pressure on Nandi to the inside. He doesn't quite shove Gamer off, but he really pushes him to the outside of the track. Nuno's looking to make his way up through here. Nandi's going to give him a run for his money for sure. Gamer in third place, and Nandi, then Nuno, a little further back. Antti and Julo and Pamushas just back there. Rams and Rozim in the top 10. Goose?
Down to the back is Grandy and X-Extend getting caught up in that massive little pile up on the first couple hairpins there. A big shuffle, and Andrews all the way up into 11th. Great start for the MBZ driver.
Jake Brad pretty much making a couple positions there up. Sobel down in 14th place. Not an ideal start at all after a bad qualifying. Looking back to the front of the pack, Andrews just goes off there. May have had a little bit of understeer, goes onto the grass. Looks like he's just glitched off there. But we've got Antti putting some pressure on Nuno. This is for 5th and 4th. The leading three are Danimator and Gamer and Antti. And Nomskar, sorry. Nuno in 4th place, a little cut adrift from this pack. This would be great for the sport if somebody other than Nuno was to finally win a damn race. He's won 5 in a row. He's looking to make that 6, but he might not. He can, today, equal K's record of 19 wins, a record set over a year ago, still standing to this day, and it can be broken here in Portimao. Goose?
Gamers made a lovely move to the outside to take the lead from Danimator for the time being, and they're battling as Nomskar looks to go on the outside, and Antti gets in the mix. We've got a big 5-car race right up front. This is amazing.
This is absolutely brilliant. I'm loving this. Nuno right behind this 4-car pack that battling in the lead between Gamer and Danny and Noms has brought Antti and Nuno much more into this. Anti's now up into 2nd place. Antti very much, maybe not sandbagging, but underestimating his potential performance here today. He takes the lead of the race. Amazing job. Amazing job from him. He's pushed Gamer off there. In fairness, Danny's going to look to make some pressure on him here. Will Danny lead the lap? Will Antti lead the lap? I think Danny goes into it in the first corner. In the lead now goes the LSA car. Gamer still in 3rd. Noms, Nuno and Pimu makes his way up to that battle. Cut adrift. Behind them, we've got Julo, who's running in a race of his own in 7th, already 3 seconds back from the leading pack, but he's doing very well. Hanandi fallen down to 8th. Goose?
Pamushas actually impressing in this top 6 pack. He's in for a sniff now. The only one on the mediums that is in this front pack. So I think him and Rams are starting off with a great strategy, but Pamushas really making that effort to stay on the back of Nuno.
So I can see that Jake...
Sorry, go on, Lev.
So I just seen that Jake Brad missed my box, and he's on the mediums now, the first one to pit in lap 5.
We've also got Gamer and Noms in as well. They're from the soft tyres onto the mediums. Antti pushes Danny out the way there, gets a penalty. That'll lose him some key momentum as Danny will be able to breeze back through on him. They both go into pit. Nuno goes into pit, and as expected, Pamushas now leads the race. This is amazing for him. Little voice crack there, apologies for that. Pamushas leads the race on his mediums after starting on those tyres. Let's see, further behind we have Gamer, we have Sobel, we have Rams and Nomskar as well. Rams made his way up, he's yet to pit. Most others have. Sobel also yet to pit. He's just going to look to stretch as long as he can on those hard tyres. Goose?
Rams really going to stretch his mediums as long as he can as well, doing the same kind of thing, trying to catch some slipstream off of these drivers who are on the fresh tyres. Looking at a mix of tyres coming on the track.
Big big lag rocket there. Sorry to cut you off, but Rams and Anti right into the wall. Rams really coming out of that poorly. Pimu comes out of the pits now. Very interesting to see where he is. He's down in 8th place behind Rams, who is yet to stop. Gives him a bit of a hard time, puts him on the gravel there. That's not nice at all. Noms, Danny, Nuno, all with a crash there. Anti in 2nd place. Well, Gamer leads the way, having stopped already. Could we see a Gamer win today? He tried to play down his chances before the race, but he's certainly looking in a nice position for it at the moment. Noms to the outside of Anti. Can he make a position? Danny getting through 4 abreast into the final proper braking zone. Danny and Nuno through. Anti and Noms less so. Danny on the hards, Nuno on mediums, and Anti on the softs, with Noms right behind, also on the mediums. 3 abreast into turn 1. Anti's carried off onto the gravel trap on the outside. Noms takes the grass on the inside of turn 3. Nuno up into 2nd. Oh my lord, this is too exciting for me. Goose, your thoughts?
Even these veteran drivers in SL can't help but get excited in this one. Anti tries to split the Red Sea of Danimator and Nuno like Moses, and he takes them both out in the grass. Probably an aggressive air, but like I said, they can't help but be excited right now and race each other.
This is a brilliant, brilliant racing track, and I mean that truly as a track for racing. It's not obviously been clean sometimes, but my god, has it been entertaining. Lots of overtaking spots, lots of chances. We're on lap 10 of 42 here at Portimao. Nuno puts Noms to the outside. Rain is on the way. Lev, are there sprinkles down in the pit lane at the moment?
Currently no, but we can see on our graphics that some clouds are coming, and we can't say for sure if the rain will be pretty long, but I can say that there will be rain.
Gamer in, Noms in, Nuno in, Anti in, Danny and Pimu all in. Hernandi stays out. Hernandi inherits, not quite the lead of the race, but P2. Hernandi into P2, staying out on those softs. That looks like the right call because the clouds are coming back. Wait for it.
Yep.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Okay, this is taking longer. Now, the clouds are back now. Not a lot of standing water on the track. This has massively helped Hernandi. He just needs to not get punted off a bunch here. Anti gets a penalty for sweeping Hernandi. Pimu gets a penalty for sweeping. Poor Hernandi, honestly, he's got the strategy right here, but Jesus Christ, is being absolutely brutalised by these Class A drivers. They're all on the inters. They all pitted for the safe option, and I'm really surprised by that, and they're all in again. Gamer on the mediums, Nuno on the hards. We'll see what they've gone for. Is that Danny on the mediums, Anti on the softs, Pimu on the mediums, and Hernandi out ahead of all of them, but on relatively worn softs, so he will have to come into stop soon, but he definitely gained through that track position. He's in 2nd place now. Goose.
Rightfully in P2, so is Nandi. On the worn softs, they're not going to last much longer, but he is still going to get a net gain from that strategy. And the hards making their way into the top of the pack now. I think Nuno is going to stretch these tires. You're going to see them going about 9 or 10 laps on these hards now.
That's absolutely right. We've got Sobel pulling alongside. That long straight allows a real running of straight line speed for the soft runners. Talking of straight line speed, that's one of the attributes you can upgrade in Sunday League Virtual, coming to the UR2D server very soon. You can upgrade your own cars, participate as a driver. Much more details in the rules channel. Meanwhile, coming back to the race, we've got Sobel still in 2nd place. Gamer out in the lead is got a really good gap. He's a whole sector ahead of the rest of them, but crucially, Sobel, after starting in 12th, going down to 15th, is now up into 2nd. He's going to need to pit pretty soon. Julo's in 3rd. What's going on here? Julo's in 3rd. We'll have a look at his tyres. They're relatively new. So Julo's had an amazing last stint to get himself up into that position. We'll see how he's doing. He's defending from the reigning champion and championship leader Nuno. Goes to the outside, loses position to Sobel. We've got an RMC 1-2 currently out in the lead of the race. It's Gamer than Julo. I need to screenshot this and put it as my laptop background. This is amazing. Obviously, complete impartiality in the commentary box. But Sobel and Anti making their way through. They want to try and get Nuno. Nuno's on these hards. He's going to be holding them up. Pimu to the outside. Sobel coming into pit now. Anti and Pimu in a little rocket there. Goose.
Anti and Pimu exchanging paint, former teammates. So we were baffled by Nandi making it up the grid, but really the hero of this stint and this rain event was Julo with the RMC, as he just goes onto the grass from Nuno and gets pushed back, but still an incredible effort from the sophomore driver.
Absolutely, and this is a very aggressive part of the field to be in. Obviously, Class A drivers, they're ego precedes them sometimes and they want to get those high finishing positions. They take no nonsense from these up and coming drivers, but Julo has shone so far. A little bit of a rough sector in sector 2 last time. He's on the hards. He's going to try and get that track position once again. Going back up, we have Nomskar behind Pamuchus, weird pronunciation, who's just overtaken Anti. Nomskar to the outside of Anti. Can he get through? Not quite. That's a very tricky corner. You want to just take a little bit of grass cut, or if none at all. But these drivers will be just trying to absolutely battle each other and get through on each other to get into some clean air ahead. Little ahead is Danny battling Nuno. We've seen this in so many leagues and so many races, but it's not for first place because Gamer's 9 seconds up the road. In an amazing stint, he's pitted the same amount of times as everyone else. Pinch yourself, you are awake. Gamer is leading the race by quite a distance. Nuno is in second place. He's on the hards. He's going to look to carry those as far as he can to try and overcut Gamer, maybe take a pit stop less. That'll be his ideal strategy at the moment. Lev, have you got any thoughts so far?
So far, well, impressive to see Gamer dominating here, as Grandy did in Challengers League. And I can say that Gamer definitely has pace if he continues to extend his gap on Nuno.
He is, and he's just trying to get through. We'll have a look at their tyres. Going back to the front, we've got Nuno on kind of green but yellowing for sure hards. Gamer's mediums looking more worn. He'll be in the next couple of laps, I'd reckon. Those are about to fall off the kind of theoretical cliff. Yeah, he's in at the moment. Hetmanet comes in a lap behind. He's in last place at the minute. We'll see where he comes out relative to Nuno. But it looks like good news. Nuno comes into pit as well, but Gamer would have covered him off by a pit stop. Amazingly. So he does still have that lead. He needs to make advantage of this first sector as Nuno comes slow out of the pits. But Nuno, also back there, stuck behind Sobel. Nuno's in traffic. Sobel's going to defend him for all his might here, trying to make his way up the grid. He defends into that next turn. He's going to keep Nuno on the outside. We'll follow this battle for what is third and fourth place. Sobel shoves him off.
Oh.
They get tetchy there with Danny in the background. Sobel carries on for this. He's defending for his might for his compatriot, former teammate Gamer. He's going to love him to get the win today, and he's going to do anything he can to stop Nuno. I'm not necessarily suggesting that that's his main motive, but it's certainly a good one to theorise about. Danny to the inside. Sobel just gets a penalty for shoving off there. He will sink down to 5th place because of that. Nuno wants to slipstream, or wants Danny to slipstream him rather. They're both on the mediums, as is Sobel. Sobel's mediums quite a lot older than those two. Nomskar out in second place. We thought he challenged Nuno for the win here. He's doing a pretty good job of it so far, Goose.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of it as he returns to his original moniker, but what we didn't know is that Gamer would be ahead of the both of them, as Nomskar is in the pits now, and it looks like Danimator is doing a nice job of slipstreaming. He wasn't going to get that kind of cooperation from Sobel, but Danny seems to be playing nice with Nuno so far.
The issue with Nomskar, as he makes a great move around the outside of Pamuchus that corner, issue with him now, Pimu gets him back. He's in traffic. He was looking very good out on that hard stint, but you really just need to be in clean air. Julo, very admirably in 8th place, really hanging on to the back here. We've not got a lot of big gaps up and down the field, not really till top 14, then 15th. We've got Eurus a few seconds off. Nomskar down the inside. It's such a tough corner. So tricky for battling there. Nom's right behind Anti there. Anti in 4th place. They're battling for best of the rest at the moment. Goose.
It's absolutely incredible. Even further down the pack, the Pamuchus and Julo are staying relevant right at the front of this this pack. For the first time in a long time, I can say we have got the top 8 SL drivers competing at the highest level, and if this is what the rest of the season is going to be like, strap in for a dandy.
Absolutely, it has been awesome to watch so far. And we're not even at half distance. Actually, we've just covered half distance. I can't really do maths. Anti's right behind Nomskar. Nomskar is in 4th place. That aforementioned battle for best of the rest. Anti, it's going to be interesting to see what strategy he goes for here. He's on considerably older soft compound tyres, so he's just going to want to slip Noms as much as he can. But really here, you don't want to be skidding off, taking too much grass on the exit. On the exit of corners, it's really dangerous to take it there because you'll just lose so much acceleration. Can he get the slipstream down the back straight? It looks like he will by hugging the inside. He's going to pull right up to Nomskar. This has massively helped Anti out. He's really going to be struggling on those old softs, but this will really help his lap times for sure. Only 6/10 of his PB at the moment. Danny and Nuno, sorry, what was that, Goose?
Just tasting a bit of grass, and that's what happens when you try and push those softs just that extra lap, that little bit to get that slipstream. You are going to taste that grass on this very tight track.
He's now outside of it, absolutely. We've got the front three having stopped 4 times, they're on the mediums. The next 3 having stopped 4 times, they're on the softs. So we've got pretty similar strategies so far, nothing too unorthodox. We've got Anti heading into the pits now, a lap ahead of Hetmanek. Hetmanek's teammate for this race, Pamushas, right behind Anti. Hanandi will emerge from the pit lane ahead of both of them, as will Sobel. Hanandi not emerging from the pit lane, on the track rather, when they come out of the pits. Ahead of Sobel, Nomskar still hold that 4th position. He's going to be in the next couple laps. Danny and Nuno, both on pretty old mediums. They're working together, they're cooperating. Danny will want to try and beat Nuno in this race, but he knows that battling at the moment isn't going to get him any good positions. They're both into the pits. Goose.
Right now, Danimator and Nuno taking the pit stop. They're going to have fresher tires, 1 stop more than Nomskar right now, and I think we could see a few of those drivers go with hards to the end, as the softs can get them only about 5 or 6 laps, and mediums don't seem to be quite that much more enduring than the softs. So I think we're going to see a lot of hards come out in the next couple pit stops.
Absolutely. And Lev, anything you've noticed up and down the field on the full track camera? Any interesting battles for us to look out for?
Oh, well, currently can't say which battles are interesting, but now I can see a battle between Buddha and Urist, and Buddha overtakes Urist on the inside now.
Even Jake and Raheem getting into it.
Oh yeah. Buddha and Urist battling down in 15th and 16th positions. Let's have a little look at this. Is Buddha going to go to the end? No, he just makes a little mistake coming out of there. He's going to hope to get some slipstream back. X6 ahead of them. Then we've got Jake going into the pits. Rozim ahead. Grandi, Rams. It's been such an exciting race. I'm sorry for not covering the rest of the field, but it's been amazing up the front. Hanandi and Julo in a big crash there. That's also really hindered Sobel, who drove right to the side of Hanandi. Lucky for the sturdy side pods on that LSA car. Otherwise, he'd be not really enjoying that front wing damage at the moment. Julo in 7th place. An amazing race for him so far. Pamusha's in 6th. Anti in 5th. Nobody really battling it out physically at the moment, but definitely looking to try and get some pit strategy over one another. Nuno in 2nd place. 7.5 seconds behind Gamer, who leads the way. Goose?
Right now, for the first time in the entire race, the front of the pack is starting to space out a bit to settle down. Pace is starting to take over. But something that we notice here, we've got Rams, Grandi, Rozim, all FGR family VEO cars right in the back after 10th, 11th, and 12th. Rozim making a debut in the SL, running well in 12th. We've got Buddha making a debut for NBZ down in 17th, and kind of a return to racing, Nomskar running as formerly Serenanate in 3rd. So our debut new drivers back in it, looking good, and even though Buddha does not have, very many positions gathered this race, he's still looking strong and showing that he can be an SL driver in the future, as is Rozim finishing 3rd in today's Challenger League race.
Spot on there, yeah. Nomskar, of course, aware of the implications for the championship that taking his old moniker back will bring, because Serenate Nomskar will with separated stats. Neither of them will really challenge up top, but I don't think he minds that. I think this is more looking ahead to the future, seeing if his original moniker will bring him more esteem, more success, more glory coming into future races. I'd like to apologise to our viewers watching ahead if there's been any major lags on my recording or stream. That is just a hardware issue I've got at the moment, looking towards fixing it. But I really hope you're enjoying the race, because it's been an absolute stormer so far. They're just starting to, as Goose very rightly said, space out a little bit at the moment. Nomskar in 3rd, Danimator in 4th on the hards. He's going to look to carry those for really as long as he can. Anti a little bit back from him. He's in 5th place, with his teammate Sobel recovering to an incredible 6th. with some amazing tyre strategy early on that got him right up from the lower midfield into those front-running positions. Pamushas in 7th place, he's just pitted onto the soft, so expect to see him undercutting that leading pack. We'll see where he does relative to Antti, who's just coming in off his very aged softs. Sobel goes through. Pamushas is going to be tight on the exit. Pamushas does get through. Antti just outside of his slipstream. Pimu with the undercut brings himself up into the top 6. Goose.
And against what I thought, Antti goes for the softs again. So far in the top of the pack, Dynamator is the only one that's on the hards. And if we could get a look at his tires, we'll see how long he's going to run them for. And Gamer's coming in to take hards to the end, as I suspected.
Absolutely, he is. The final 10 laps of the race, which he's led from pretty early on. And he's just going to hope to keep it nice, keep it composed. He's got a gap behind Danny, who still needs to pit, just about 4 seconds. So once that does come through, he'll have a nice gap there. Noms, having just pitted far highs, he's on the same strategy as Gamer, so he's not going to be able to pull off any blinders to beat him through that. But he's got, I said Noms, maybe I meant Nuno. Nomskar gives him company. He's also pitted onto the softs. They're battling out for the podium positions. Of course, in Season 6, they're battling out for the World Championship, but here they're going to have to settle for 3rd place, maybe. It depends on what Danny can do to the end, how his trial strategy will be. They're both starting to catch him now, just as they come to lap Buda. Not many gaps, really, in the field spread. We've got a little 8-second gap from 9th to 10th, from that front pack to back pack, so to speak. And there's some just down near the end as drivers start to fall off each other a bit, but very compact, apart from the one right out in front. Very compact. Grandy, earlier banned from future Challenge League races for dominating that. We might need to ban Gamer. Rain's on the way! We go 3-1 to the final corner. Danny eats grass. Noms and Nuna go in. This is what we wanted, isn't it? This is what we love to see. Gamer will have the rest of the lap on these hards. We'll see how he does here. I don't think the rain will come until he's in the end of the second sector, but he's going to want to get back to that pit lane as quickly as possible here. We'll see how this goes for him. Follow on board for the rest of the lap. He just needs to keep it calm and composed. He's got one big corner to negotiate, and he's got a relatively slow speed one. All the people coming in on the wets will also have struggled early in the stint before the rain actually came. Gamer, now into the pits. He's on the wets. Noms and Nuno. It depends on whether they've been battling or not, but they'll be looking to try and undercut here. As they haven't, Gamer's still got a 7-second advantage. Noms and Nuno battling. In the other FLF, we've got Jake and X6 also back down the field there. Pimu just gone in. Andri's still out there on his hards. The sun's coming back, but I don't reckon that will have benefited him to a massive degree because it's been wet for quite a while of racing now. Noms and Nuno up into this battle. If Danny had been able to stay out a couple more laps on those hards, he would have been able to pit right onto the wet tyres. But as it is, we've got, looks like it'll be one more stop in this race back onto the slicks, but it will be cut and go for sure. I'll get Goose, I'll get your thoughts on this in a second. It'll be cut and go because it looks like the rain will take probably about 4 laps to go out. So what do you think the strategy will be here?
Well, they're gonna go as long as they can. I don't think inters will come into play here. The track's gonna dry up completely before inters come into play. So I think it's gonna be maybe 2-3 laps of softs to the finish.
Yeah, that could definitely be the strategy here. It's not going to be pitting in this lap. Gamer aware that he's got that little cushion behind to Noms and Nuno. Noms and Nuno will really see how they're going to approach each other. Danny's been able to catch up to them. So that's the thing. Even when you're not battling each other, you're still tripping over each other slightly. You've not got clean air. You've got just an obstacle in the way. This is a perfect example of it. Noms makes a mistake. Nuno makes a mistake. Noms tries to overtake him. He goes down the inside into second place, but gets a penalty for his troubles. Nuno gets ahead, but he's going to go to the outside here. Noms battling Danny. This is the battle for the rest of the podium positions. Everyone will be coming in this lap. Gamer demonstrates that he's going to go on to the soft tyres. Unless the rain comes back right now, we won't see anybody not coming in at the end of this lap. Noms and Nuno into the pits side by side. When have they not been side by side this race? It's been an incredible battle. They come out side by side. Noms has to yield the position. The entire field will be on softs for this sprint to the end. We've got 4 laps remaining of the Portuguese Grand Prix, and still amazing battles up and down the field. We'll scan quickly to see if there's anything going on. Anti in 5th. Very respectable for him after he didn't think he'd score highly. Sobel in 6th place in the other NTH. NTH registering 1 finish outside the 4th to 6th positions all season long. Pamushas in 7th place. Julo takes 8th. He's right next to Nandi. They're battling into a tight hairpin there. Julo is going to look to come out ahead. Rams rounding out the top 10. We've got Grandy down 11th. The other VEO, Rosim in 12th. Those are very solid points for VEO. Jake in 13th. X6 in 14th. Buddha in his first ever race, the first ever race for an Estonian driver in Sunday League, in 15th place. We've got Eurus down in 16th, Andries in 17th after a dodgy tyre strategy call there, and we've got Het down behind him in 18th. Looking back to the leading pack, Noms still trailing Nuno, Danny right behind. This has been the story of the podium fight all race long. Lev, what are your thoughts on it?
Pretty interesting sprint race here to see, because the rain lasted perfectly enough to let us watch this interesting sprint. But as of now, podium battle now is pretty much decided now, as the gaps between Noms and Nuno and Danny are pretty big, so they are not in slipstream range of each other yet.
They aren't, and it will take a big mistake from the very fast, very experienced Nuno in order to surrender the second place to Noms. But never say never. Noms has said oops. Now I'm not sure what that's in relation to. If he's had a mistake, if he's done something wrong, maybe pushed off Danny. But he's still continuing as he is. Nuno takes a slower exit there. Sorry, Goose, what was that?
He is catching. Could be an interesting.
Nuno making mistakes here. We'll follow this battle in a second, but all credit to him. Game of 15, an unlikely winner, but he comes across the line to win the Portuguese Grand Prix. His first race win of the season, his first race win to season 7. Nuno and Noms side by side across the line. Nuno got the position in the end. Danny, then Anti comes home in 5th. What an incredible race. And Gamer is your winner today. Nomskar takes 2nd place. It looked like he was right behind on the line, but that will count as a 2nd place. Nuno in 3rd, his lowest finish of the season, his first finish outside the top 2 since season 7. Danny in 4th place, a very solid result for him, but he'll just be disappointed there wasn't a podium there. Anti and Sobel in the NTHs in their typical habitats of 5th and 6th place. Pamushas in 7th takes fastest lap. Hanadi takes 8th, Julo 9th, and Rams in the top 10. Grandy and Rosim in the VOs 11th and 12th. Very solid showing for them. Jake Brad in 13th in the other Flowforce car. We've then got LYR, MBZ going down from 14th to 17th, and Hepanek at the back of the grid. I've lost my voice now because it's been a phenomenal race, but I really hope you've enjoyed it along with us. Thank you for this, guys, and I'll see you in the Lausitz ring. Until then, bye-bye.